Everyone, Jeff here from Daily Dose of Jeff, podcast number 6, December 16th, 2024. What's going on right now is just horrific. The shooting in Madison, Wisconsin, Christian school. I'll give you what details I can to cut through the chase for you guys. About 10:57 a.m. I don't know if that's Central or Eastern, probably Central time. The police were called about an open shooter. Again, this is Abundant Life Christian School. About 400 students attend there. There are people dead from this. 3 people were dead, including the shooter. One was a teacher. Another student was killed, and then a girl who was doing the shooting, she killed herself. So the police did not fire their own weapons, which means, she took her own life, whoever this girl was. She was a teenager. Her parents have been contacted by the police. That's all we know at this time. More details will come out, obviously, in time. There are 2 students in critical condition, which their life, these are life-threatening injuries that 2 other students have, and 4 other students are injured without life-threatening injuries. They don't have a motive for this. Tragic, just tragic. 5 fire trucks, 15 ambulances were sent there. 11 off-duty firemen showed up at this, and it was a 9mm gun that was used. So there's your details, and, we need to talk about this, people. We need to talk about this. This is getting ridiculous. I have 3 kids, and all 3 of my kids started out in a private Christian school almost identical to this one. They started out in pre-K. I had to pull my son out in 4th grade because of bullying at a private Christian school that I was spending a lot of money on that I did not have. It was making us broke, but my wife and I were determined because she grew up in a private Christian school. I grew up in a public school, Northeast Philadelphia, same one that Sylvester Stallone went to. Yeah, totally different environment. I was a city kid, rough school, very rough. And, the fact that I had to pull my son out, because he was being alienated, he was being teased, and these are Christian kids. So, I don't want to hear the whole Christian thing. My family were Christians, but, Christians are people too. Christians are regular people. I don't know why everybody puts them on a pedestal. We're regular people. It's just, it's a different religion with different, beliefs than other religions. But we're people. We're all people. And this girl that decided to go in there and kill people had problems. Obviously. Now, more details will come out. We'll find out. We don't know the specifics on this, but, again, a lot of it goes back to the parents. Now, no, I don't want you guys thinking that I'm blaming the parents when I say this. It's just how the children are raised is what means so much here. And we're not putting blame on the parents for her pulling the trigger. But different parenting will produce different results. Now, parents out there, I want you, it's my hope that through this podcast today, that we can shed some light on things to do to help prevent this. All right? I don't want to see this continue. We got to check in on our kids. Now, again, I don't know her parents, this girl. I don't know anything about them, but I'm just speaking, using this opportunity that we as parents take some form of action. Our kids go to school. So what happened? I had to pull my son out. I pull him out 4th grade because other Christian kids, were bullying, especially this one. This one kid was really bullying him. And the funny thing is that boy is still there. My son is 18 now in his last year of high school. And, I see pictures of this boy who was bullying him. He's still at this school. They make him out to be some kind of hero. His pictures, I know his parents donate a lot of money, and they make him out to be an altar boy. I watch it on Facebook, all that. It goes on in the Christian schools. Now, my one daughter, both of my daughters now are in public school. My youngest, that is 13 at this time, this is her first year, 8th grade, in public school. My other daughter, her first year was last year that she left the private Christian school, and they love it. They love the public school way better. I'm not trying to put a knock on Christian schools, but people are people, and killing. This is a Christian student, you would think, this girl that did this, and you just can't think your kids are safe anywhere, folks. It just can't. This girl comes into school with a gun and kills 2 people, including a teacher. So if you think all the answers are to put your kid in Christian school and they're safe and everything's wonderful, well, you're fooling yourself. This comes down to the individual. This comes down to parenting. This comes down to the surroundings, the people that you associate with. We got to check in on our kids. We got to check in. I think back to the Columbine, and I think back to Dylan Klebold, the parents look like nice people. But are you checking in on your kids? Parents, ask yourself right now, how much am I checking in on my kids? How much are you going through their phones? Are you going through their phones? Do you see all their stuff going on that they talk to their friends? How much of their conversations do you know about? What do you know about? I think we would be shocked if our kids took the phones out and showed us everything that they do on them. All this stuff matters. This comes down to caring. This comes down to laziness. It comes down to a lot of things. But you want to get involved in your child's life. You want to take action now before something like this happens. I can't picture somebody at her age, if the parents were thoroughly involved in her life and knew so much about her phone and watching the phone and having apps. I got my kids' phones locked down, where I could see all kind of statistics, everything they're doing. I talk to my kids, talk to your kids, ask them who are they, get to know all the people that they're talking to, because you don't know really if they're up in their room and they're hiding away. You don't know who they're talking to, what's going on, what's about to be planned. I'm sure this girl just didn't wake up and decide to kill people, just, waking up that morning. These are usually things that are planned out. Now, let's go back to the Columbine. The 2 boys there, they planned that out for a long time. I watched the whole Columbine thing. I'm sure, unless you live under a rock, what happened there. 2 boys shooting up the school, and they were bullied. And they had enough of it, and they planned it out. How does all that happen with guns and bombs without the parents being involved? When I say involved, folks, we need to stop right now. Get involved with your children. Get into their business. Find out who are their friends, who are they talking to. If you have to limit their time, and if you don't limit their time, then at least have apps in place. There's lots of things you could do to start getting involved, but talking to your kids and spending time with your kids means so much to a child. If you let them up in their room and that's it, you're just going to go on with your nice cushy life. The child can go off into tangents. They start talking to the wrong people and getting ideas. Look what happened today. There is a family out there that just lost their two families that lost their teenagers because of this. Now, we're going to cover this as time goes on and more facts. I'll watch the news tomorrow as I'm doing my job at home, and I'll keep jotting down all the facts as they come in. But the fact is now that a girl went into a school that she attends, killed a teacher, another student, and 6 others are hurt. 2 of them may lose their lives. And it's so sad. It's so sad. And I am big on parenting. Now, I am not blaming the parents. Don't start in the comments, thinking that I'm not Luigi Mangione. I'm not blaming his parents for what he did. My point is the parenting sets the stage. It sets the stage for the kid's life. It's going to affect how they turn out, but the parents are not responsible for the actual act themselves. Now, I know in the whole Ethan Crumbley case, I don't know if any of you are familiar, Oxford, Pennsylvania, I believe it was, Ethan Crumbley, the parents got jail time. And this kid was crying, calling out for help. And he really wanted help. And the parents just, the judge found and put them both in jail, that they are semi-responsible. So in that case, you can blame the parents. They obviously felt that way. Now, in this case, and Mangione's case, I don't know. I don't think you can blame the parents, but, we're going to find as the details come out. But the point of this podcast is, parents, we need to get involved in our kids' lives. And we need to know who, like when I sit with my kids and I talk to them, tell me who you talk to today. Tell me any little story. Parents, just sit down, be open-minded, have your ears open, put your listening ears on. I love Judge Judy. Put your listening ears on and listen to your child talk about their day. Every single person they got in touch with. Yeah, it's going to take time. It's going to take time out of your day. I know you're tired. I know you had a long day. But if we don't do this, they're going to go off into a tangent. They're going to have someone else feeding them ideas. We need to stop that. Get involved in your child's life. Mangione, I don't know what made him go crazy. Now I got one person saying that he was radicalized. Is that true? Yeah, I guess that could be true. But we as parents, now this especially at a young age, at the young age is when the children are like a sponge and they're going to listen to you. You got the first 7 years of their life, even up to 10 years. The child's going to be a sponge and wants to spend all their time with you. And you need to spend all your time as much as you can with your children. Those first 10 years are critical. Now, once they get past 10, what you've done up to that point, it's going to be harder and harder to change a child after the first 10 years. The first 10 years, you should every night be with that child. I used to lay down with them. I'd read Bible stories. I'd act them out. I could teach them whatever I wanted. Those early years are critical, parents, critical. If your children right now are under the age of, say, 7 or 6, you should be dedicating your nights to setting the foundation for that child to provide them love and attention. The children need attention, and you're going to have to give up, man. I felt like my kids consumed 99% of my free time all the way up till they were about 5 or 6. They started to get interested in other things, but for the first 5 years, my kids had all my free time. And I'm not saying I was the best parent in the world, but I look at situations like this, and some of them can be avoided when it comes to the parents. So parents out there, I hope this podcast reaches you, comment in the comments. Let's talk. You know, if something positive can come out of this and we can get into our child's lives more, I'd be thrilled that this podcast helps somebody, you know, open the eyes of a parent. You know, I know your free time's going to get interrupted, no doubt about it. But you got that first small window of the first 10 years of their life, and maybe we can start avoiding things like happened today. All right, stay tuned, guys. Tomorrow I will keep a list of all the facts of this case as it comes out. I'm going to get it all down for you. So when you come to the podcast number 6 tomorrow, I will do one later at night when I have all the facts down, and we could dig into this and just get more details as they come in. Okay, comment down below. I want to interact. I love interacting. I love hearing your opinions, whether you disagree or not with me. And thanks for listening.